Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. So today we will discuss that how t-test can be run in Microsoft Excel. So as in last video we have discussed the t-test of independence using species. Today we will compare these both groups using the t-test in Microsoft Excel, which is a very simple method. Okay, so these are the marks of the student in pre-test. This is experimental data. As after the some experiment and some training has been given to the student, and after that the result is here. This is the student results. 10 is marked in post-test and 10 is marks in pre-test. Okay, this is our group 1 and this is group 2. So we will compare both groups. Is there any significant difference exist between the two groups, or there is no significant difference exist between the two groups? So now for t-test, what you need to do, you have to select a blank box. Okay, now you need to click equal sign from your keyboard. Now next, after clicking equal sign in a blank box, you need to write down here t-test. When you write down just double T, a t-test will appear here. Now just double click t-test. Okay, now here is four things are mentioned here. Array 1, array 2, that is your group 1, your group 2 tells which tail of test you need to do here, or one tail test or two tail tests, and the type. The type mean that homoscedastic or heteroscedastic. As in homoscedastic we have equal variances, while in heteroscedastic we have two tail test. Okay, so now I have to select the group 1. Okay, now comma, and I will select my second group which I need to compare with the first group. Now I will put comma, and now you need to click what you want, one tail test or a two tail test. Let I put a one tail test, that is to test the first group with the second group. And next you have to put what, that's two sample variances, equal variances, homoscedastic, pre for the two sample unequal variances, heteroscedastic. So let I put here for the equal variances, that's homoscedastic. You need to put here a bracket and now just click enter. Okay, so now look at here. This is 0.0941. This is our p value. So as the p value is greater than 0.05, so what we conclude? We conclude that the groups are insignificant. There is no significant difference exist among between the both groups. So this is the t-test. We have other like the data, that is two group parts of speech, marks in pre-test, parts of speech, marks in post-test. So you can run a t-test for these groups as well. So what you have to do, just click equal sign from your keyboard, then write down t and a t-test will appear on your screen. Just double click it. Okay, so array 1, I select array 1, comma, I select array 2, comma, and I select here, let's see, we select the two tail test. I put here 2. Okay, and now comma, and now I consider 3, that's unequal variances. So just put here a bracket and just enter. Now look at here. So here again a p value is greater than 0.05. So our both groups are insignificant. Groups are insignificant There is no meaningful difference exists. There is no meaningful difference exist between the two groups. So this is the way how we run a t-test for these data sets in our experimental research. Let's see for the third group, that's Weiss's marks in pre-test and that is Weiss's marks in post-test. So let's see again, I put here a equal sign. Just write down t-test. When you write down double T, a t-test will appear here. Okay, now select your first group, okay, comma, and select your second group and comma, and now I again, let's see, I put 1 per one-tailed test and comma, 2 per homoscedastic distribution. Okay, and now this is enter here. Okay, now we have get here a very highly significant difference exists between the two groups. So the third data sets that the two groups have p-value is a very small, that's 0.05. They have far away from the 0.05. It's very small, so highly significant difference exists. So we reject our null hypothesis and we accept our alternative hypothesis that there is a significant difference exists between the two groups. So let's see just one look we give to here to the hypothesis that we have types of hypothesis: simple hypothesis, composite hypothesis, directional hypothesis, non-directional hypothesis, null hypothesis, associative, and causal hypothesis. So we have a lot of hypotheses. We can use it during our research. So this is very important to know about the hypothesis, so we can run our test with a through proper method. Okay, so now these hypothesis test and the t-test statistic, we use z-test for one sample, z-test two samples, z-test when the data is about normally distributed, the two proportion z-test, the one sample t-test, two sample t-test. So these are the test statistics we use for the hypothesis testing. We use the chi-square per independence for goodness of fit data, one-way ANOVA, VPOC, Haas test, pictorial analysis of variance, repeated measures of variance. So we can use for a lot of situations. We use these following tests. Now look at here the simple hypothesis that the mean group 1 is equal to group 2 and group 1 is so we look at again our data set. So in these two, in the first case and in the second case, we accept our null hypothesis that it's not is accepted that both group 1 is equal to group 2. This is the situation in this first group and here as well. In both situation we have accepted our null hypothesis, but in the third data what's happened that group 1 is not equal to group 2. It's quite highly different, like highly the difference test exists between both groups. So thank you very much for watching video. I hope you have learned how to run a t-test in Excel. Assalamu alaikum.